Lord, kumbaya. Someone's laughing, Lord, kumbaya. Oh Lord, kumbaya. Someone's praying, Lord, kumbaya. Someone's praying, Lord, kumbaya. Someone's praying, Lord, kumbaya. Oh Lord, kumbaya. Bless Bernardo's Lord, kumbaya. Bless Bernardo's Lord, kumbaya. Bless Bernardo's Lord, kumbaya. Oh Lord, kumbaya. Nice little teddies, Lord, kumbaya. Nice little teddies, Lord, kumbaya. Nice little teddies, Lord, kumbaya. Oh Lord, kumbaya. And now I'll tell you people what this is all about. Why we're singing and do not shout. We'll do our best to tell the tale of great benefits Bernardo's will avail. Tell me to be quiet and go home, would you? This madness. These are good people. These are from, this lady is from Bernardo's herself. Karen Kerr, you're the funding manager of Bernardo's. And these two beautiful women of Newry, Maureen Savage and Eileen Doran, you are both knitters and natterers.
That's for sure.
Where does knitting and nattering occur?
In the Newry Library in Hill Street.
Wow. Yeah, and what is it comprised of?
It's elderly ladies. Pensioners mostly.
It's all right being a pensioner. It's not all right being elderly.
Well,
Take our money and run. You guys swim every day. Maureen, don't you?
That's right, yes.
Where do you do that?
In the canal court.
You swim. Oh, you're very fancy.
We are.
Oh, the ordinary swimming pool wouldn't do you.
Not really, no.
No, the canal court, I beg your pardon. It's very nice.
Yes.
Yes. Oh, you're blessed. So you can't claim to be elderly if you're swimming every day.
Well, age is mind over matter, and if you don't mind, it doesn't matter.
Well, you see, 70, I'm going to tell you, and I can speak about this with equanimity because I'm 70. 70 is the new 50.
Oh, really?
So you got to believe that.
Oh, we do, yes.
We look all right for 70. We're
I think
anyway. How are we doing?
Yeah, I think
absolutely.
it's fabulous, yes.
Yeah, this is good. And they're doing great things for Bernardo's, these women, joining with other people from all over Northern Ireland. So what's the Teddy Bear Project about, Karen?
Well, what it is Bernardo's has had a teddy for quite some time. However, he's been a bit bare. In other words, he's had no clothes. And I thought
he's been well loved. People rub teddies and hold them and hug them, and they lose their fur as a consequence.
That's right. But we thought it'd be lovely if the teddies could have very unique style jumpers. And since we have such talented people across Northern Ireland, we thought it'd be lovely to get people to knit. And Newry Knit and Natter have taken up the challenge, and they've, as you can see, knit the most fabulous sweaters. There's another one here. And another one here.
My God.
And what we'll do is come the summer months, we'll spend that dressing probably hundreds of teddies.
Because they'll need it for the winter.
They will.
So that's clever.
They will.
You're spending the summer getting them ready for it.
We're very smart, yes.
Yes.
And what we'll do then is groups, individuals, schools, businesses, communities can take a teddy and raise some money, and that helps support the work of Bernardo's. Yeah. So it's very good.
Really, tell us all, excite us all about the work of Bernardo's.
Well, Bernardo's, since Thomas Bernardo began in 1899 in Belfast with a soup kitchen, the work has transformed to over 40 services in Northern Ireland. We have 500 staff, 500 volunteers. We work in 150 schools, and the work represents the needs of the community today. So I'm very proud of what Bernardo's do. They intervene at all stages of a child's life to give them the best possible start in life.
Is there a need for it nowadays? It's a substantial need, I suppose.
Absolutely,
It's a different kind of need because children are subjected to all kinds of awful abuse and desperation. Once upon a time in Thomas's day, he fed them soup and that was the end of it, or clothed them, or give them heat. But nowadays it's more complex. You're right, it is a lot more complex. I mean, we work with very happy, functioning families where maybe a child has severe autism. So it's not all families that are dysfunctional or that are troubled or need the extra care. There's lots of families we work with that just have a special educational need. Maybe the children are disabled, they need specialist help.
We also work with a range of services, children of prisoners. We work
Yeah.
with one of the services at the moment is the child sexual exploitation, which is very in the news at the moment. And I think the wonderful thing about Bernardos is they're very responsive, they're very tuned in to what's happening and the needs of children. You may not always see the signs of our work about as you travel around the north of Ireland, but I mean, we're there quietly behind the scenes, getting on and doing the work that's required. So we do that day in, day out,
You
all
are
the time.
fundamentally good people.
Yes, we are.
I love that. It's nice that when someone, it's nice when someone takes a bow when you tell them they're good. Others, no, you're good, and it's great. And you guys are privileged to be working with them, aren't you?
Very much so, yes. But I mean, only the Newry Library give us this free room, and it's absolutely marvellous, I think.
It was costing them nothing. Why wouldn't they give it to you? Let them give you a bigger room and put more heat in it and give you more coffee.
Oh, the lovely...
Because they're all on
lovely
board. Lillian and Rosemary there,
Lillian
they're all
is-
on board, for goodness sake. They're
Lillian's great. She's
Yeah,
a great
okay.
girl. There's
They're
no
all
doubt
very,
about that.
very
They're all
good. They
great.
accommodate, we don't
Oh, they're-
only knit and natter, we sew,
we
crochet, make cards, we do
make-
everything,
yes,
you know,
patchwork
and they
quilts
accommodate.
and
It's
that's
not
what
only
they
knit
do.
and natter.
They're so nice.
I have a daughter who does patchwork quilting.
Yes,
She's a quilter.
Anne-Marie, yeah.
Yeah.
She's totally mad about this. She
Yeah,
loves this
she-
thing.
yeah.
She
She
is.
makes great things.
Thing.
But these things now, these jumpers, how long would it take you to make one of those girls?
A night.
And now you do that in a single night,
Well,
many
you know,
hours.
Couple of few hours.
A
We
few
do
hours.
it, yeah.
I
You
would
go,
say
do you
about-
do it on a machine?
About 4
No,
hours.
no, no.
Clickety-clunk,
Hand,
clickety-clunk.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
I
the long
once
way
knew.
around.
I once knew a woman, and it's a long time ago, Madame Defarge, and she used to sit at the guillotine in France, knitting and counting the heads coming off the unfortunate aristocrats. Long time ago, Revolution time. But that was in my dreams. It was a long
I was
time
going
ago.
to say that.
But
I
she
think
did that. She was a
Yeah.
knitter. And you know, I've seen women knit all over the world.
Yeah.
I've seen women knitting across the great Niger River in Africa. I've seen women knitting in the bush. I've seen women knitting in the south of India.
Yes.
Why? What is it that it's an amazing gift from the gods of the universe? Here, take knitting as a gift. You can make blankets and jumpers. You can do anything.
Well,
It's true.
It's very fashionable at the moment. It's very much in. All knitted garments are coming back again, and
Yes.
you see some of these film stars on sets now with their knitting needles sticking out of their handbag. But I'm not sure whether.
Men.
No, ladies.
Ah,
I'm not
thanks
sure
be to
whether
God.
they're knitting or
I
it's
was
just
beginning
been
to lose
fashionable.
faith there.
Yeah.
And what
Yes.
is it? Yeah.
They've been doing that just for notice.
A medicine.
There wouldn't be any good in knitting. You know, you'd be all right if you got Michelle Pfeiffer to do you. a
Wouldn't
job.
you?
That would be good.
Wouldn't
Yes.
it? Yeah.
Michelle, if you're watching out there, because we're going out all across the planet.
Yeah.
So it's Rowan talking to you, Michelle. Remember, good girl, give it your best shot, do it for us, and that would be good. But do you know something? I went into a shop in Newry, the other day. I was looking for darning wool, darning needles, and a darning thing that you put the sock into. Because
Yes.
I could darn.
Yeah.
I would do that. And the wee girls looked at me as though I had two heads. What is darning?
Yeah.
So I collapsed
Shame,
in
isn't
shock in the shop and started to sort of say, I don't believe this. They'd never heard of darning. Have you heard of darning?
Well, I know that my
Go on,
mother.
no. Have you heard of darning?
Yes, I
that's
have.
good.
And my
You're
mother
okay.
has an old wooden mushroom.
That's
right,
in
that's
her
right,
sew
that's
box. That was
right.
her mother's that used to put
Isn't that
inside a sock
lovely?
and darn up
Yeah.
the heels.
Yeah.
And she still
Lovely.
has
Well,
that.
the reason why you can't buy those now is socks are not pure wool now,
Yeah.
and you don't darn them. They're synthetic material,
Yeah. That's
and you
awful.
can't darn them. You
Throw
know,
away society
unless you
for
knit them
everything, isn't it?
yourself and knit them with pure wool,
Is
you'll
it very
not darn
hard to
them.
knit a pair of socks?
Just turning the heel would be the hardest part.
This is complicated.
Well, if you come to knit and natter, we'll
If I
show you.
if I felt that 2 goes at knit and natter
Yeah.
would teach me how to knit a pair of socks
Right,
myself,
we'll try.
I would go.
We'll get,
You should get 'em down.
we'll get
Well, we have
Rosalie.
a friend,
We get
Rosalie Cole,
Rosalie to
is
help
an
you.
expert
Yeah.
at knitting
knitting.
socks, so she
Yeah.
would teach you.
She was a
she's
friend
good.
of my wife, my former
That's
wife.
right.
She's a great friend of Marie.
That's
Well,
right.
there
Yeah,
you
they were
are.
good
Well,
friends.
she's no problem with
Yeah.
Rosalie.
But she's a tax officer.
No,
Oh,
she's not
she's-
retired.
Oh, thanks be
You're
to
safe.
God and his heavens above.
We're
You know,
safe.
We are safe, Lord. We are safe, Lord. So, knitting and nattering in the library in Newry. How long have you been together as a group?
You over a year? We're
It's
not,
only
we're
a
not
year.
that.
In the
yes,
library,
in the
yeah,
library. Oh, but
yes.
we're lifetime.
Lifetime, we
Groups
are.
were in
Group, yeah.
we
I've
were
been
in the U3A.
Yes.
For
They're all
I was
very old there.
11 years.
You need to watch them. They tell me they're introducing computer lessons and they're introducing, oh goodness gracious, also. And I said one day to them, what about pre-death training? And they looked at me, oh no, I'm not sure. And then they started to laugh when the penny dropped. You know, goodness gracious.
Yeah.
But they're a good lot of people, and I was saying I got this terribleness in my knee, twisted my knee, and I was saying, you know, I'm glad, Lord, that I have got the broken knee, the twisted knee, and not some old person who couldn't put up with it. And then the penny dropped.
Yeah.
I am an old person.
I know.
That's an awful
I
moment
know.
of realization, you know. But
It is.
U3 is going very, very
Oh,
well.
yes,
Chris is a
it's
great fellow.
great.
That's Chris
Yeah, it's
Robertson.
great.
Yeah. Were you
It's
there?
great.
And you're still there, yeah.
Well, we were Catherine Street. Eileen and I started off.
Yeah, and you're there
here
ever
at the
since.
beginning.
Well, we're not now.
We're not now, but we
Ah.
have. We've,
Yeah.
I've
Yeah.
done a craft group for 11 years, you know, so
Yes.
it's sort of
Moved on.
You moved, well,
to
it's
do
like,
different.
but
maybe,
like me,
maybe,
I-
maybe we retired.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yes,
yeah.
that's it. Yeah.
Retired but not retiring.
No.
That's their motto in U3A. But I'm the same. I've
Yeah.
done my boating. I used to sail up to your place, Carrickfergus. And I used to sail up the Irish coast in my folk boat. I did that for 40 years. It was enough. Then I turned to something
Yes,
else.
yeah,
Do something
yeah.
else. Yeah. Now, how strong is Bernardo's in Northern Ireland?
Well, with over 40 services, 500 volunteers, 24 shops
My
throughout
God.
the north of Ireland, we have a really strong presence.
Yeah.
And I think most people, no matter what age they are, have heard of it. Certainly, lots of
Oh,
people
yeah.
are synonymous with Dr. Bernardo's and
Yes.
this early work. But
Definitely.
we work hard going into primary schools to tell young people about the work. And I think if people don't appreciate what we do today, they're quite amazed at the vast range of work that there
Yeah.
is available.
And you have
So-
that lovely place in Belfast for teaching young people culinary skills.
Dr. Bayes.
Is it still operational?
It certainly is. It's
Yeah.
for young people who may have a learning disability and
Good.
they go in and they're obviously taught
That's
catering
excellent.
skills. And
I think
anyone
it's
that's been just says the attention that they get from the young people is fantastic. So it's great
Yes.
for them.
We had a Dr. B's type institution in Newry. It was called the Coach House Restaurant
Right.
up at Abbey Yard. And all the young people who were very special young people, they did the cooking, they did the looking after us, they did the serving and all the rest. And what happened? It was closed down
Oh.
Yeah.
and the gates were pulled over. And in the last 7 years since it was closed down, the gates haven't opened. Just crazy
Yes.
lack
Isn't
of
it?
thought,
Yes,
lack of
yeah.
foresight and intelligence. But these children loved what they were
They
doing.
did.
You would
Yes.
see this in Bernardo's all the time.
Yes.
Special children, they're so proud of what they do.
Yeah.
Absolutely,
yeah.
absolutely. And I mean, it's a lot of times people might say about the challenges that the children face, and you know, I always say it's not about children what they can't do; it's about what they can do.
Yeah,
And
that's right.
Bernardo's believes in children, will stand
Yeah.
up and fight for them, no matter what's been done to them, where they've been, or what
Yeah.
they've been through. So the ethos in Bernardo's is children first and foremost, and their
wonderful.
potential, you know, for each child. So it's
Does
great.
the ghost of Thomas still gently waft around the place in any sense at all?
I think he would have to. I think Thomas Bernard is a very inspiring person in that, you know, obviously when he started his work in London, it was Victorian London, it was very challenging times.
Yes.
And, you know, he stopped and seen a need and said, I'm going to do something. And even though we're all these years later, you can still influence your own circle, you can influence your family, your friends, you can do some small thing to make a big difference. So I think of what Bernardo looked at the time, and I just think all I can do is my best where I am.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that helps
he
change
did
the
it.
world. And he did it.
Yeah.
And I
yeah.
think he'd be very proud today to know that from that very small beginnings, he created this
That's-
huge
yes,
UK
yeah,
organisation
Yeah.
that's making a real difference.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, how much do you guys know about here in Newry, about Bernardo's? Had you
Very
known
little.
a lot? Very little.
Yeah, very little.
That's an odd thing. That,
Yeah.
So I always would have thought, and I know it's a quite wrong thought, that Bernardo's would have been more well known to one part of the Northern Ireland community rather than the other. But that's changing, I think. It's more universal now. People are,
Well-
not that you ever were set out to be that, but it was a perception. Maybe it was the London thing or something. I don't know.
It may have been, but certainly Bernardo's works across all communities,
you
all
do.
denominations,
Yeah,
all
of course you do.
cultures. We're very multicultural now, even in Northern Ireland.
Yeah.
Yes.
And the needs, as you said earlier, the needs are changing, they're diverse, they're complex. So probably we're being seen, as an organisation for every child that
Yeah.
needs us.
I see that now, and I'm more and more and more aware of you. As I said, I did a television program in Dr. B's, and I got to know it then. But it's good that you're reaching out and that you're meeting the need, because where do you get your funding from to do this? Are you government funded in any sense?
Well, we do receive some government funding,
good,
yes, for
good,
some of the work,
good.
which is fantastic, which enables us to, provide a lot of work, but we still rely heavily on voluntary income. And Northern Ireland is an incredibly generous place, as you
yes,
know.
yes.
And so when we do initiatives, people are always very responsive, very supportive of us. We have a lot of support from churches, communities, girl guides, groups, individuals. We would just get maybe a check through the post. Somebody's heard or read something and pops money in the post. So, people are very faithful and generous
They
to
are.
us, yes.
And folks out there, when you hear this and see this in Sydney, in Christchurch, when you see it in Manitoba, when you see it and hear it in Dubai, when you see it in Singapore, anywhere you are in the world viewing this, remember that we can be doing with some of your money for Bernardo's. And you know from these folk here that it's money going to the right place, and it will be well used to meet a huge need that exists in the modern world here on the island of Ireland at the moment. And your help will be invaluable. So how do people get money to you if they want to send it to you?
Well, you can pop a check in the post if that
To?
suits, to Bernardo's, Northern Ireland.
And that will get you. Bernardo's,
Yes.
Northern Ireland.
Yeah, well, it's 542 to 544 Upper Newton Ards Road,
Upper
Belfast.
Newton Ards Road, 544. We'll leave them with one just.
Yeah.
544 Upper Newton Ards Road, Belfast. And if you're sending the money, send it in the form of a draft rather than a check. That's the better way to do it. And it's the safer way to do it, marking out the name of Bernardo's on the check.
Bernardo's, Northern Ireland,
That'll get it, just Bernardo's.
Yes, it will. We just have one regional office in Belfast on the Upper Newton Ards Road.
So give them the address again.
Yes.
I've done it, you do it now.
542 to 544 Upper Newton Ards Road, Belfast. And you can make checks payable to Bernardo's NI, Northern Ireland.
There you got it.
Thank
That
you.
sounds good to
Can
me.
I just put one shout out, please?
Of course you may.
We have this poster, which I'm not sure if you can pick that up. It's just kind of outlining calling all knitters. The important bit here is at the bottom. If for a pattern or for a poster, you contact www.yourhealthinmind.org. And I just really want to say a huge thank you to the Northern Ireland Libraries, because I contacted the girl from the Northern Ireland Libraries, and she has been absolutely fantastic. She has promoted us through every library in Northern Ireland. She's put us on the newsletter, on the web page, and I think that NI Libraries are the people that are going to help make this the success that it is, because it's helped me make contact with these ladies who are skilled, because I can't knit. So it's brilliant to know that there's ladies
Yes,
like you.
and
Maureen?
if anyone likes to join us, we're from 2 o'clock to 4 any Monday in the Newry Library.
Newry Library.
And we teach you to knit the jumpers.
2 o'clock to 4. Newry Library, Mondays.
Yes, and it's
Please join us. Oh, did I say us? I want my socks, you see. This is what I'm going for. Yeah, So that's a very good day. Newry Library, Lord, kumbaya. Newry Library, Lord, kumbaya. Newry Library, Lord, kumbaya. Oh, Lord, kumbaya.